Hey everyone, and welcome back to another week of Shiggles. I'm that guy Rickster.
Hi, Darian here, guys.
And first, let us say
Sorry for being away for the past 2 weeks.
for the past two
Um,
weeks.
I know people have reached out to me, but life
Really?
happens, and yeah, like a few people. I tell you, my people keep up with me. A few people have reached out to me. I'll be like, "Oh,
I
hey, what happened to
don't.
the episodes this week?" But I'm sorry about that. Like, things happen, and sometimes scheduling and adult life can be like that.
Yeah,
So,
we had to take an impromptu break, but we're here, we're back, and we're ready to go. But thank you
hmm
for reaching out to Darian, for the people who reached out. Wish my people would, but it's fine. Yeah. So catch us up. How have you been?
It's been a roller coaster for me, but I have been rested, because I've been
Mm-hmm.
off work, so that is good. So I have like gotten the much needed time that I needed to kind of get back in my own brain and think about things that I need to do, where I'm at right now and where I want to be. So kind of like to refocus and like refortify my brain. So it's been good for me for the most part. What about you?
It's been really good. The last 2 weeks, I will say, have been very good to me, and you know why. Um, but back at work, and then we have like a long weekend this week. So yeah, been pretty chill. Rested as well, which I had to. But yeah, it's been good.
Okay. So you want to lead what we're going to talk about this week?
Sure. So this week we're going to be talking about sending nudes or, like leaking nudes, our thoughts on that. We're gonna start there and then we might talk about other stuff, but that's the main topic this week. So what are your thoughts about sending nudes or leaking them?
You have to send me nudes.
Oh, we're
Let
just
me
going
just
right
start
in it.
by
Okay,
right
cool.
into that. Let me just say this. If I'm interested in you, and it doesn't matter what the situation or the relationship is going to pan out to be, unless we have some sort of platonic relationship where I'm not really interested in seeing, uh, then it doesn't matter. But if you're someone that I'm going to sleep with, or I'm looking to date, or anything sexual that might come up, you have to send me nudes. I don't know. Some people be like, oh, wait until you meet me or you see me in person. No, fuck that.
You see
You
it in
have to.
person.
Absolutely not. Not in this day and age. Like, I gotta
Yeah.
see it. I gotta know that it's okay. Like, it looks well kept. It's clean. Also, that you have like good taste in angles and shit like that. But there's just a curious part of me that
Not the
needs to know.
angles.
There, there's just a curious part of me that needs to know before we hang out or hook up or start a date or some shit like that. We're sexual beings. Of course, it's important. I mean, even if it's at least like one. Say, for example, like you don't like to do it, but just for the purpose of, letting each other know what we're working with, what we're getting into,
Yeah,
we
even
gotta
if it's like
share
every now
something.
and then, don't
Even
have
if
to be
it's not
all the
knowing that, but
time.
initially I have to. It's
Yeah.
a automatic. I'm no longer interested if it's the type of person be like, oh, I don't do those things. Okay, bye.
Well, I will say I went through a phase when I was younger when I would be like, "Oh, I don't send nudes for a specific reason." Um, if I'm taking nudes, I don't show my face or stuff like that. But I sent my nudes to a dude, and he posted it on Facebook. Yeah, so that's why I had stopped for a very long time. I never used to send nudes to people. But if I'm interested in you, and as you say, like if we're going to be building something and I trust and I get to a point where I trust you enough, I will send you nudes in and I will be getting nudes back from you because I like nudes. I like
No,
seeing
I like news a
what you're
lot.
working with. Yeah. So show
um,
me what you're working with.
I mean, eventually I get used to it, but I mean, like, I like to sext, I like to flirt a lot, but I realize that because my goal is more like dating relationship oriented right now. It's not something I
Yeah.
do a lot because like I'm not entertaining that many people. Like
A
it's either I'm only
slut.
entertaining. Well, of course I used to be a slut in the past, so like whatever, like I'll just entertain conversations just for sexting purposes. But I don't think I'm not like that anymore. Because my
Mm-hmm.
brain is more trying to align myself with one person. So it's like it's just something not exciting to me anymore, but it used to be. But for any brand new person, like I mean at some point it gotta come up. Like I flirt really well too, so like maybe we have to share them nudes.
Yeah, and I mean, like, if I can't just be the only one sending nudes, you have to be sending them back to me. Like, come on.
Exactly.
That's the
Like,
fun part of the whole thing.
and I used to be like weirded out by certain things. Like, so I think I've said this before too on this podcast. Like, I'm very strict or rigid, as some people would say, in terms of some of the things I do. So, of course, I'm not having sex with my friends. We're not flirting in a particular way. We're not doing certain things. But I
Yeah.
find I'm now intrigued by, my friends like sending me their news and be like, what do you think this look like? Or how do you think this look? Or you maybe like send me like a sex tape of them and I'm like, oh well, this is interesting. I find myself
I've
no
had friends
highly
who did
interested.
that as well.
Because
I've
before it
had
used to be
friends who
weird for
done
me.
that.
Because I mean, I don't look at my friends that way or think about my friends that way, but I kind of find it now like it adds more to the gossip of us talking about some escapade and like having proof or pictures or videos of what
Yeah.
happened. It adds to the gossip a lot, and it's just like a scandalo. Like, show me, show me what.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
I find my
True.
friend be telling me about somebody, and I'll be like, well, and you're like, oh, it's fat or it's big, or I'm like, where's the proof?
Yeah, like I've had friends who just like randomly show me other people's news. Like they don't send them to me, but like on their phone, like, oh, look at this and blah blah blah. I'm like, oh, that
Or
looks
send it
like
to me in
fun.
view once, and I'm like, well, this looks exciting, sort of thing.
Yeah.
So I've become
Like me and
more.
my me and my best friend. There's a particular guy she's seen, and our nickname for him is Python. Don't need to say anything else.
It's funny.
Exactly.
I used to have female friends like that all the time. Back in the past, I don't have a lot of female friends, no, but in the
Yeah.
past, I remember like they'll be dealing with guys and like they used to show me. I'd be like, Jesus, I went and I met this guy and da, da, da. And when me tell you, say it big, like it's really big, and like they will show me pictures, and I'm like, damn, oh, well,
Right.
damn, sis. So it is interesting,
And
in
not
cases
only
like
not
that.
only is just like because of interest and whatever and it's fun, but let's say you are like a distance away from the person you're supposedly having this relationship with. It adds to the fun. It keeps the interest there because you're seeing what's going on. So
You know
like
what
it
you
makes you
want.
yeah, and like they said distance makes the heart grows fonder. I don't really agree with
I don't
that.
believe in that. No.
But if you're let's say like FaceTiming and like it doesn't whip it out, no problem. Let's see what's going on there. Yeah. Have
And some
fun.
people, body parts be pretty as hell,
Yes.
like
And
really
you want to
pretty.
see.
Like looking at it and like my mouth is salivating because I'm like, damn, like
I look
that's
like
all
you're
you
having
right there,
flashbacks.
right? I always be having flashbacks, and some people really be pretty, like not just in the face, but like their appendages be
Yeah.
really. So I'm just like, if it's pretty, I'm gonna be like, yeah, I need to see it
It's a
again.
question. I think we've both established on this thing that we're both versed, right? Which do
Uh-huh.
you prefer to see, the dick or the ass?
I mean, I love seeing the dick because I think everybody's. You will find a lot of similar asses, but it's hard to find a lot of similar dicks. Dicks comes in all shapes and
True.
sizes and colors and da 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 da. That's always interesting for me to see. And then because I like a specific type of ass, I generally ask questions first about that person to see if maybe they have the type of ass I like. We're
Yeah.
not going to get it into the type of asset I like,
No, you don't have
but
to. Like you can just talk.
but if it's a particular type of ass, oh, you're gonna have to send me that shit all the time, like all the time, every time,
Mm-hmm.
because I want to see that shit. But I generally lean for seeing the dick first, like
Okay.
what it's like. But on the leaking aspect, no. So I look at
No,
this two ways.
before you go to that, I wanted to ask you, what are your thoughts on like unsolicited dick pics? Like, for example,
Oh,
I was just this dude just added me on Instagram, right? We are just talking. He's like, "Oh, you good?" He's like, "Yeah, I'm fine." So I'm like, "What are you up to?" Dick pic. Like, and then
so
so my response clearly wasn't what he was looking for, but we haven't spoken since. I'm like, okay,
I
cool.
think there's two reactions to this. If you're attractive, like drop dead gorgeous, attractive, all of that, you doing that and the person taking it in a great way, there's a high possibility because you have the physical, attributes that this person, even if they would mind with other people, they wouldn't mind with you.
Oh
Now,
my
if
gosh,
this
I hear
person
your kitty
is
going off. It's so
right, my little
cute.
baby, like Toge, why are you
Oh,
crying?
sorry. Sorry for interrupting you, but I
But
heard him.
yeah, but like if this person is not like conventional, like attractive, no, not your type, you will be disgusted. Even like if it looks pretty, because my brain will be like, "What happened to hi, hello, how are you? My
But
name
that's the
is,"
thing. I
and then I'm
wasn't
gonna
like
block you.
disgusted, but at the same, it was like the conversation we were having had nothing to do with you showing me your dick. So I'm like, how this come in? Like
And you know what's
what?
funny? Now that you say that, it's always the people who you don't or won't ever want shit like that from,
Right?
they're the ones who always do it. So it's just like, damn, why can't be like a person that I have like a crush on or
Because
this person I
we
like?
literally just started talking like the day before on Instagram. So I don't. It would just out of the blue, just randomly in the middle of the conversation that had nothing to do with sex.
And I can
It
see
was
that.
weird.
It is
Not
weird when
everybody
people
wants
do
to see
that.
your dick all the time.
I usually block people like that if I'm not interested. And usually people who I'm interested in don't do shit like that. So it's just like it's always the undesirable ones. They have too much confidence for me. And I'm like, sometimes I wish I have the
Yes.
confidence that you have. But also if that
And
person
don't get me
is
wrong, the guy was not ugly. He was attractive, nice body, nice everything, well educated, all that jazz. But it's just that the conversation we were having in that moment had nothing to do with sex. So
like
it was just so weird,
at least ease me into it. And it can come
right?
as a turn off, even to people who you find attractive or like your type. It can. So you have to like read the
And I was
room.
turned off.
Like be flirtatious like me, like have your way with words if you really, because I like to see shit. So I have my words and my techniques on how to lead the conversation there. So like be a little bit more inventive or creative or whatever to like
Right? Little mystery.
little
Yeah.
um but yeah.
The leaking aspect, no, let's get to that. I mentioned what happened to me, why I stopped sending nudes years ago. But yeah, what I
I'm
do
trying to
not
remember.
agree with that shit.
I don't agree with it, but also for me it's just like if it happens to me, I think it has happened to me like maybe once before,
Yeah, it happened to me
where
the
someone
one
was like,
time.
"Oh," and I'm like, I don't think I care that much. I don't think it's something I've never really cared about because there's always like the voice in the back of my head, like if you are sending shit to people, put yourself in, put yourself. All right, think about what you would do if someone sends things to you, like all the possibilities of the things that you have done in the past or whatever. So for me, when people send me shit, right? Very confidential, all of that, da 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 da. But I'm not gonna say there haven't been cases where I've shown someone on my phone or whatever the case it may be. So my brain thinks that if I can do something like that when it comes to me, when I send something to someone, there's a possibility that something like that may happen. So
They might
because I
show it to
have that,
somebody else.
yeah, so because I have that mindset, it's just like, you know, yeah, I'm putting my trust in this person, but also it may or may not,
End up on the internet
end up on the
somewhere.
internet. And I'm just like, well, my shit is pretty and it's big as people say. So it's just like, it's not going to be like to my detriment or some shit like that. And plus, it's just a
Yeah,
nude. People go ha 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 to the end tomorrow, they forget about it.
true.
It's
I
not
saw
that.
somebody had in their stories on Instagram. Um, so the video is a guy like dancing at a party, right? Like a random black guy just dancing at a party, chilling by himself. And then the caption says something like, "When they find out you're half horse and now they want to call you all the time."
No, because people be like that too, and people gossip, right? Because this person literally came to me once and they
Of
was just like,
course.
oh, and I can tell that they were talking to me because like they had some ulterior motive. And they were like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, I heard from so and so that you have a big dick. And I'm like, who the fuck is so and so? And it's just like, oh, and I'm just like, okay. And I can tell that the entire premise of them wanting to talk to or
Was
interact
just
with me
for
is
the
just
dick.
just for the dick and because they want to see it. I'm just like,
Yeah. And
okay.
then that's sometimes like a turn off because like I'm not interested in you. So
But it
ew.
on that note though, I wouldn't actually leak. Like if you send me something, like it doesn't matter what you do to me. And this, I don't know, I believe in revenge, but there's just certain type of revenge, like revenge porn is just not
That's
my
just
thing.
too much.
Like to post
That's
your
too
sex
far.
tape or like to, that's a little bit
I'm the type of
much.
person you can send me anything you like because it will never leave my phone
Exactly, so
or
it's just
ever be
like,
shown to somebody else.
because imagine like, and this isn't just like about people who you're like having sex with or shit like that. I've seen cases or instances before, like real like life experiences where, for example, I send you shit because like, hey, I was doing this and I send it to you, and like you and I have a falling out and you post that shit all over the internet. I have seen things like that
Yeah,
before. And
I've seen that happen before.
it's it makes me look at you like,
And it
damn.
happens a lot in the gay community for some
A lot,
reason.
lot, lot, a lot, a lot.
I don't know about the straights because I'm not over on in their side, but in the gay
I'm sure it
community, it
happens a
happens a
lot
lot.
too because you see a lot of videos, especially like in Jamaica, with people getting videos leaked of them doing the do in
Like
cars
that girl
or
Milk, you remember her
right, that whole
on
wave that started
CVM?
that. Yeah, and I remember
Yeah.
that was a huge thing, and you get in.
Because at the time, like it was the first like somebody in the public eye like that something happened to them. So it was huge.
Remember the video clear as day, and it was so taboo back then. I think now people talk about things maybe for like 2 minutes and this is just like okay,
Then you're
whatever. But
gone.
back then it was a days, weeks, months
Yeah, and
the
she even lost her
conversation.
job over it and stuff like that.
And you see that as a thing too, because do I believe people should like lose their jobs over things like that? No, but I also understand that a lot of time these
I guess
companies
it
and
depends on
whatever,
where
they
you
don't
work.
want. Yeah, they don't want. I mean, that's your outside life. We all have sex. Like, let's be honest, no. But I guess it's the attention that it brings to. But for me, it's always so stupid because, like, okay, you fire the person, but the attention is already on you. The damage already has been done.
Yeah.
Firing the person is just like,
This is not like leaking news, but this guy who was on Wizards of Waverly Place, they just did a reboot, right? And they didn't ask him to come back because he says it's because he's doing
oh,
OnlyFans.
oh
It's
yes, yes, that
Disney.
one.
They're not going to want to have you back on Disney when you're now doing porn.
And it's a
It's
similar
Disney. Come on.
situation with the guy from the new X Men. I think the new X Men that
The
came out.
guy the guy who did
Yeah,
the
that cute
creation
one.
of the new season. Yeah.
That cute one. It's a similar situation. I think with either. I think he has an OnlyFans or it was something like that. It's a similar
But
situation.
I think it's more than that because after he posted his thing saying how it's because he posted like a pride thing with a guy and blah blah blah, like one of the X-Men characters in the harnesses and jockstrap and whatever. He posted saying it's because he posted that for pride. Why they're like, oh, we have to cut ties with you. But then they responded and like, it's more than that. We did investigations and what we found was so egregious. That's why we cut ties with him. It's like, oh, that word is not used a lot. So
The
clearly something
human
more is there.
human society is so weird, or let me say modern society. It's we're the ones who make this taboo, first of all,
Hmm.
because sex is like a very natural thing. So the way we make it
We all
so
do it.
taboo is just like the hell. Like you'll be watching videos
And
in
then,
certain cultures, like African people or like some Asian people, and like the way they dress and things like that, breast outside, ass, dick outside, and it's like it's not taboo for them. It's like it's very normal because I'm like that's all. Of course, we look different naked and shit like that, but like it's just a human thing. Like it's not that deep.
yeah.
Someone sucking dick at home. What do you think they be doing at home with their husband or when they leave work? I don't know.
I mean, we're all here because of sex. We all have sex. Come on, calm down. Not that serious.
It is not that deep. It's really not that deep.
You know, I had a podcast. I was going to do a podcast once with that, and that was the title. It's not that deep. It never worked out though.
I wonder why. But
A
if
lot
you
of
don't have
stuff I
anything else to
out.
say about that, something that
I was
has
about to
been,
say, talking about something that's not that deep.
yes, something
One
that's
thing
not
I
that deep.
wanted.
Go ahead.
I've been wanting to talk about this from the other day. Did you see that video on TikTok with the girl who said she was going to interview and they told her, "Oh, do you want to change and come back another day?" And she's like,
Oh,
"No."
yeah,
Have you
yeah,
seen it?
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Why should think such could have wear that her interview? Because when I saw the video, somebody showed it to me and was like, "What do you think of this outfit?" And I'm like, "Oh, it looks nice. Is she going to Target?" And I know she's going to an interview. And they told her to go change and she said she's not coming back. I thought the interview was on Zoom. I didn't know it was in person. And then she's so upset that they told her to change. And go, girl,
They at least
I'm
gave you the
wondering, do
option
they
to change.
at least they gave you the option to change and come back? Do they not teach? Is there no like career day at school anymore where you sit down and you do mock interviews for jobs and how to dress?
And I
I
mean,
found it so weird.
I get the idea of dressing comfortable based on where you work, and but I mean, I think sometimes we have to remember that first impression counts. And
Yes.
I saw someone make like a valid, like a good point on Twitter saying that you challenge things like this when you're already in a particular position, you already have the job, you've already built some sort of like rapport or whatever in the system, you know.
In the
But
the
being
workplace.
seen, yeah, but being seen as immediately rebellious before you get into something can be a turn
I'm
off,
not
and
going to
not
want
just
to
for
hire you
jobs,
after
because you're
that.
like, yeah, it could open other problems up in the future. So it's probably not just about the dress code at this particular point, it's how you're choosing to approach someone, a situation, a corporation, a job before you get into it. I was
And the
like, I
fact that they
agree.
gave you the
Chance
chance
to
to
change.
literally change and come back, they could have told you outright, no, we're not going to do this. Because I'm of the opinion, even if you're going to an interview to work at a supermarket, dress nice and
At
go
least put
there
yourself
because
together, you know?
this is the first time they're seeing you. Put on something will look nice. Don't look like you're just going to walk down to do some grocery shopping somewhere.
And we also have to remember that dressing like neat or like properly isn't just about the particular type of clothes that you're wearing. It's also demonstrate that you'll be working in this establishment. You have some idea of what hygiene should be. So you're not going to come here in no dirty shirt, no dirty things like that, because it's like you're also assessed for that as well. Because if I see you come in a dirty ass shirt that you didn't even wash, or like a dirty ass pants, even though it's a suit and you're in the attire that you're supposed to be in, I'm gonna be like, this is a problem that I'm gonna have with you, because when you come to work and
Yeah,
you're in my establishment, like a food place or something like that, your nails are dirty, your clothes. No, you have to grooming yourself is very very important as well, and it's something that
important.
you're
Like
assessed for, not just dress code and all of that.
Exactly. First impressions last. And then she threw on a cardigan like she thought that made it cute. It's not cute. Calm down.
People, people.
Right?
But the thing that I wanted to touch on when it's not that deep. So by now, everyone, if you haven't, well, you probably, I wouldn't say you're probably not into popular culture, but if you don't
Is
know
this
who Chapel
demure?
Roan is
Oh,
as
never mind.
at this point, right? So new artists just blew up on the scene, just like that. It's very
They're calling her the Lady
it,
Gaga of Gen
it's
Z.
very rare that you see this happen, like where someone just blow up like with the first album and you've never heard about this person before, right?
Like Gaga.
Fame can be a very dangerous thing. Like fame literally has killed like a lot of people, and I
Yeah.
think so. First, people were praising her for the first couple of weeks, and everybody loved her, and she's a new Gaga. And white girls are making like white girl music, and it just sounds so fresh and all the good things, and it sounds like someone, or she's like someone that we've never seen before, or personality, blah 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 blah, whatever. Fast forward 2 3 weeks later, I guess
Oh, I
maybe
think I
like
know
a
where you're going
fan
with this.
wanted to take a picture or something or whatever the case it may be.
I saw this.
And like she's like, oh no, whatever, I'm not interested in it. Like there's no uproar, there's hate, whatever. And I'm just like, stop telling people that they sign up for this. Of course they know that they're famous, but some
That's not
people
something
just
they signed up
like to
for.
be not harassed. Or even if I come to
Yeah.
you and I ask you nicely, and this is a case, this is, I've seen this situation like play out in a lot of different instances in life. Just because you come up to me and ask me something nicely doesn't mean I'm obligated to say yes. I can say
The
no and
thing
just keep it
is,
pushing, and it's no attitude or beef or anything. I've just felt to say no. It's no is no, and not
yeah.
because I'm a
Maybe I'm just
celebrity
not in a good
mean,
mood.
yeah, not because I'm a celebrity means you should be entitled to my time and my
I was about to
opinions.
use that same word. Social media has given people this sense of entitlement when it comes to celebrity. Like they think, oh, I see you on social media, I listen to your music, so I know you. So we're best friends. So if I see you, you have to take a picture with me. No, no, they don't.
Yeah,
They can
because
say
I'm
no.
listening your music or I'm streaming your thing, I'm making you famous. That's not how it works. And it's there's like a, I think people have this sense of idea in their head that even if they ask for something nice, they're supposed to get it. It doesn't work like that. And I find that a lot of people, a lot more than it should be, struggle with what boundaries are. You tell someone that, you know, hey, I don't like when you say this, or I don't like when you do this, and it's a huge it shouldn't be a problem. Like, I just don't like it. There shouldn't be a if but, or maybe I just don't like it, just don't do it again.
I have the right to say no.
To say no, so be saying that,
I don't
oh,
have to say
I don't
yes
think
all the
I don't think
time.
fame is for her and blah blah blah. This is ridiculous. And we don't
But the
realize
thing
how,
is, this girl probably doesn't even want to be famous. She just wants to make her music and live her life. Who
and
told anybody she wanted to be famous?
and I think people struggle with understanding how, well, I don't know that she's an introvert, but let's just say it gives me introverted vibes, right? Because there's a lot of things I would do just because I feel like doing it, but some of the things that comes with it I don't really necessarily care for. So, for example, right, I will post on Instagram. Like, I'll post myself, I'll post my progress, I'll post my body or whatever like that. I know a lot of people do it for validation or for attention, but for me, I'm just posting because I feel like posting. The attention
Yeah.
that comes with it, it doesn't really matter to me if it's there or not, right? But if I say this to someone like, oh, and you know this is why you're posting, I'm like, no. So there's a lot of people and celebrities who want to make music, who wants to share their art, but the negative things that comes with fame and people feeling so entitled to your space and your presence
Yeah.
and who as a person, some people just don't like it. And prime example is like Sia. Sia doesn't really care that much for it. So, which is the reason why when she realized it was like this, because Sia has been around since the 2000s. She was
Hmm.
making music before, but people were commenting so much on her looks and all of that. So, it makes her want to step away from fame because she likes making art. But
And that's
those
why she
things,
started wearing that hair to cover her
exactly,
face.
to cover her face, or like she will just write songs for people and not be in the public eye. Lord, for
And
example, is another one. She makes an album, she drops it, she promotes it, and then she disappear
Adele,
because
Adele,
they don't want the fame, and always people always wanting access to you. I don't, why
Adele
people
makes
so
an album,
entitled.
destroys the world for like world number one for months. Just she comes around, she sings for 3 months, and then she's gone for another 6 years. Love that.
I hate the entitlement that people have to celebrities. They don't owe us anything
They don't owe you anything.
at all. So it's really not that deep. So her saying that, oh, you know, whatever, like whatever, people are like, oh, this is disrespect to your fans. Maybe you should ask yourself a question: why is it that you feel so entitled to a completely straight? Because you can listen
A
to other artists.
stranger.
You can.
And not only that, why are you so pressed? She's living her life, you're living yours. Whatever she does, how is it affecting you? Are you not sleeping well at night because of that? I don't. Is it keeping you up? I don't get it.
It's a similar thing with Drag Race. All right, let me just
Oh,
step
the
out. Let
fandom.
me step outside and go on a more general, like broader limb. Social media is such a disease, and it's these. I'm gonna say something very, very problematic. It's these people who want to matter so much online, and they're so sensitive. Everything bothers them. They live
Yeah.
in the reality of the internet, but not in reality. And it's just like they watch these TV shows, and we all get emotions. We all get upset. We all get sad that our favorite character died or no longer work in the show or got booted off or whatever the format of the things that we're watching. But you have to remember that this is TV, it's not real life. They get so caught
It's
up into it's
entertainment.
entertainment. So them crying always, oh, this person said this and that person did that, and I hate this person, and they go on a rant, and it's really not that deep, baby.
And the thing is, as well, a lot of these, you are literally just seeing what they are portraying on TV.
Or edit
You
it to
don't know them
be.
outside of TV.
Or edit it to
And a lot of the
be
time, that's how it's edited. It's edited for you to see people in a certain
in a
light.
certain light, because sometimes they say something and it makes me ask myself, especially like for shows that have like confessionals, and I have to remember myself. I have to remind myself that sometimes the interviewer will ask them to say something about something else. When they respond
Yeah.
to that something else and another situation happened, they cut and paste what they said for that thing and place it in this scene. So you think the person was directly saying this about that scene, but it's not reality.
Or somebody, they catch somebody on camera yawning, and then
They
somebody is
put
doing a
it,
performance and they show the
yeah,
person yawning. They weren't yawning at
or
that, but
something
it
else,
just fits
yeah.
well because that's the storyline they're going for.
And people just take it to heart like it's real life, because there's so much drama online now about, oh, the girls were bullying this girl and gaslighting her and blah blah blah, and I'm like,
What's this now?
let me say this, and this is really
Wait, what's this?
problematic.
What girl? What girl?
On Global All Stars, let me say
Oh
this,
yeah, that one, the
and
Italian
let
girl.
me say this, even if they were bullying her, and I hate to say this,
But they weren't bullying her.
I know they weren't, but I'm like, even if they were bullying
People love to
her,
throw that word around a lot.
it's good TV.
It is
Like,
good TV, but
and
they weren't bullying her.
I think I sent this. Well, no, I didn't send it to you on TikTok. But there was this straight girl. She was saying, "Oh, being friends with gay people is not for the weak." Me as a gay person, you as a gay person, understand how we speak and how we talk. So it's just like certain things aren't of importance to us when we be rude or mean or catty. But she's like, once you're around gay people, you're always getting gathered. Even if you're friends or whatever, you're always getting gathered. And I'm
Yeah,
like, drag queens take this to the extreme. They're always gathering, they're always reading, they're always saying
because they
some
they
shady
always
thing.
that's how we talk when we're
That's
backstage with each other.
exactly. So when they see these things and these sensitive people, oh my God, why are you doing this and why are you doing that? I'm like, oh my God, these people just want this show to be
So
kumbaya
question. People are saying they were bullying her because they were asking her, "Who are you talking? Say the names."
and
That's bullying, no?
talking down to her, talking down
But they
on her.
weren't talking down to her. They were literally just asking her, "Who is it?" Like you keep saying everyone, but you're not saying a name. So
This
just
is
say a
how the
name.
show was this is how the show is edited. Because Queen Kong was saying like, oh, it's 45 minutes of conversation, but it's edited down to 5 4 whatever.
Yeah,
But let's go with what it's edited for. We can't talk about footage or things that we haven't seen.
that we haven't seen.
So typical Untucked, I guess it's a producer question or a producer direction for the queens to start talking about who they think is in the top, who they
Of
think is in the
course,
bottom.
because we
That's
all
a
know
that's
somebody's leading the questions when
that's
they
a
just come in and
general
just
yeah,
start talking like that.
it's a general drag race thing. It happens all the time. Right? Queens are talking about this. People are entitled to their opinions based on what they saw could be different from what the judges saw. So okay, they're saying who they think is in the top, who is in the bottom, blah blah blah. You walk in and then you're like, oh, I don't like how all of you are done playing me and saying that you think I was in the bottom and blah blah blah. Okay, fair enough. It's fair. Your feelings are valid, right? This same set of people turn around to you and be like, okay, all right, cool, valid, but who exactly are you talking? I don't want to call a name, everyone. So then all of a sudden you're shocked when
When
everyone
everyone
turns around because you said
is
everyone
upset.
in. You're shocked now when everyone turns around. I was like, okay, all right, girl, who you talking? Just call a name. I want us everyone, everyone, everyone. And then you're shocked that everyone is answering. You said everyone, right? So why are you shocked? And then some
You should
people
be
know that
shocked.
they're definitely in the bottom, so they don't have time for your shenanigans.
And
So
then,
they're walking
you
away
know,
to go to go get ready
what it
while you there
reminded
crying
me
and
of
think when you're
was
already in the top.
I don't remember which season or who said it, but the response was that's a lot of emotions for safe. I don't remember where
Exactly.
that came from. But you're in the top. Why are you so
Why are
emotional?
you like give it this is a time where the girls who are actually like they know for a fact they're in the bottom get a
And
time to
then
like talk and get their feelings out and whatever, but you're here complaining that you're in the fucking top.
and this is your time. Yes, let's they are underestimating you. Show the bitches that I am the shit. This is your moment to shine, girl. Have it.
You wanted your
So that
moment,
was
well,
weird.
have it. As Jasmine, was it what Jasmine?
That it was very weird.
Yeah, it was weird and I'm just like ugh. And then the fans getting on their side and talk about, oh, we love you, they're bullying, like ugh. You want TV or you don't want TV? I'm so confused.
Listen, and also we can also probably say there was like language barriers or because English is not her first
It
language,
don't
blah
really
blah.
matter.
We can say that,
What she was
but
saying, people understood.
people understood her fully because I heard somebody throw out the English not being her first language thing. It was like no, but they were understanding her fully. So I don't get what you're
And
saying.
it's like whenever I watch Global All
Maybe once
Stars,
again, maybe you could say she doesn't like confrontation, but
which is
don't say
different.
they weren't understanding her.
Or if it is that you know directly who you're talking about, go to the person and be like, why did you say this? Why are you going to everybody with
Exactly.
your problem? Go to the root. I hate when people do that too. You have an issue with
Go to the
someone
root.
and you're making it everyone's problem as to go into the root of the problem. How does that solve anything?
But anyway, have you been enjoying Global All Stars? Because I've been enjoying Global All Stars.
Yeah,
I know Canada versus
it's
World just ended, and I think Lemon won. Sure, but Global
no,
like it.
Lemon actually did. They're like, oh, she's favorite, but I'm like, at the end of the day, she still slayed the competition, so it's whatever. But it's like every time Global All Stars finish,
Kudos.
the TV goes to autoplay on because I guess one time I pulled up season 6 when Gia and Bianca and all of them, and every single time Global All
One of the
Stars
best
finish,
seasons.
that episode where all the girls meet up and like they're all being shady. I'm like, if this episode got released today, the amount of backlash they would have gotten because it's like
I don't think Bianca would have won. They would have
right because
hated Bianca.
and then Gia being such an icon because when Gian was like Darian, I guess room for
Let's just make
everybody.
room for
They would have
everyone.
called her fat phobic. They would
Yeah.
have called her fat phobic.
But
I'm
honestly,
like,
season 6 is one of the best seasons of Drag Race.
and it's what is missing from Drag Race. Everyone is afraid of getting cancelled or not
So
acting
nobody
how they
wants to
really
really
act because
be
nobody wants to be
themselves.
themselves. And I'm like, let the girls fight. Because from what we've seen, they all kumbaya on tour either way. So let them fight on the season and then go kumbaya on the tour. I don't give a shit or rat's ass about the tour.
Exactly.
But I need
Give
entertainment.
us
That's
the
what I'm
good
watching it
TV
for.
that we want.
Exactly, because and I asked myself this question because since I've been here, like I've gone to like a couple bars and drag queens and shit like that, and they're very quite rude and catty to the people in the audience and whatever. But
Yeah.
everyone knows that it's just an act. It's funny. It's
It's
not.
just for fun. You're just there for the entertainment.
So I'm like,
But with all that said though, who do you think is going to win
I want Alyssa to
from what
win.
you're seeing so
I don't
far?
care if she's
I think
favored.
it's
I
going
want her to win.
I honestly think it's going to be Alyssa or Queen.
I
One
want
of
her
the
to win.
two.
I don't care if they're because people are complaining about the girls who Rue has judged are getting favored. I'm like, well, if Alyssa gets
But I
favored
don't
to
think
that
it's a
crown,
favored thing. I
I'm
don't
not
think
gonna
it's a favorite
cry.
thing. It's just that RuPaul already judged them, so RuPaul remembers them. The other queens are
They
coming
do
from
have an
different
advantage for
franchises.
sure.
RuPaul has never met you. Yes, they have an advantage because RuPaul already was their judge. But I mean, if they're doing bad in the challenges, RuPaul is going to call them out for doing shit in the challenge. But right now, I'm seeing Queen and Alyssa as top two. I want one of them to win.
And then they were
More
acting like
Alyssa.
Queen. Alyssa is my darling. That's the first drag queen that I fell in love with because season 5 is the first season I fully watched. And
But that was
she's
the first
always been,
one.
yeah. And I started watching Drag Race while season 5 was going on.
I think I started watching at season two.
As in, I saw it before on VH1 in passing, but I never got into it until season 5. My friend was watching. I was like, let me watch this.
Season two was when I started watching it, and then I went back and watched season one.
But then she's the first person I fell in love with as a drag queen, and I feel like she's a
Yeah.
legend. She deserves a crown. So I don't care if she's
I
carried
think
to the
I
top.
think honestly, I think she should win it. It would be really good if Alyssa won.
Yeah, it would be
I
sweet.
would enjoy that I would love that for Alyssa. But I wouldn't mind if Queen Kong won as well because I've liked Queen Kong since her first go
Mhm.
around on Down Under. So yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, want to wrap it up here.
You have more of a thought, but
There's so much we have to talk about off air, but yeah,
okay.
we can wrap it up here.
And then talk off
We
air.
haven't spoken for 2 weeks.
You're right. You're right. You're right.
Yeah. Anywho, with that said, guys, I've been that guy Rickster,
And this was Darian, guys.
and this was another episode of Shiggles, and we will catch you guys in the next one. Goodbye.
Bye, guys.